Okay, so this is a video on how to make a VST3 plugin, or should I say, reskin one, edit one. For those of you out there who have never seen this before, there's software called Resource Tuner. There's also one called Resource Hacker that's free. Resource Tuner is much better, but it's not free. Resource Hacker is free, but believe it or not, Resource Hacker I use more than Resource Tuner. It just doesn't have as good as a GUI. So here it is, and what it does is it allows you to open up DLL files, um, and unbelievably, VSTs and VST3s. So if I come over here to a folder with a big muff pedal, it's called Pig Pie. I'm gonna drag and drop that VST into Resource Tuner, and boom, there you go. So what it's doing is it's showing us all the resources within the plugin. Here is the backdrop, the main photo. Here is a photo where basically you have two photos. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a line running right through the middle. One is with button pushed in, button not pushed in. The next one is the knobs, and that's how they do it in a lot of these, is they'll just have like 35 photos of the exact same knob, but it's turned at different angles. And then the code knows how to flip to which image as you turn the dial. And so all three of these are knobs. And I already did one of these because I wanted to make it into the real big muff pedal. And here you go. So now it looks like the real big muff pedal. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm having issues with trying to get the exact knobs. I tried to make my own knobs that are identical to the original, but I don't know, I'm not a Photoshop pro, so as the dial turns, the shading needs to not follow the dial. It needs to stay in one place. So, yeah, the dial kind of moves a little funky, but it works great. And I'll show you some other ones. And once you put all that back together, your VST3 that's already in your computer, it won't affect nothing. It'll just affect the image. Here's the original Sonic's inflator. Everybody loves this thing. So I wanted to see, this is kind of where it all began. I was like, man, everybody loves this thing, but it's old. It's very old. And I wanted to know if I could do something to make my own compressor, but yet use their skin, or their compressor, I should say, their code, which obviously this is not for resale. So, and here is one of them that I made. I added glass over each one of these. I gave it new silver sliders. And here's another one. And added these things. Everything works. LEDs work. Buttons work. I mean, you will be able to figure out the gist of it once you start opening up different plugin files. Now, it won't open every single plugin. Obviously, especially the top dollar ones, but you can see right here where I made a new modern Big Muff pedal. And a lot of what I do is I'll look at different skins, and I'll see if there's knobs that I can use on a different one, or like these VU meters, and then switch and swap them around. I mean, that way you've already got the UI parts and pieces without having to start from scratch and edit them all yourself. And you see this one, this was a reskin. I saw a guy on Google or dribble.com, I can't remember. And this is what he does for a living. He makes plugin skins. And I thought, well, how the heck do you even get started in this? Because you would need someone to send you the code and the plugin, plus you would need software to open it up. And this is a new Lindell Audio compressor. And I was trying to put this on 1176 Waves compressor. This was one of the skins he made. Here's an SSQ. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, some of these skins, I try to basically go on Google and find the hardware and take a picture, take that picture, and then lay it right over top of the plugin. And you can see this is how they save some of their photos, and then the software, the coding knows how to use it. So this is one knob, but it allows the dials to be turned in many different directions. These are faders, and as you can see, it just goes up and down real simple. And that goes to this 560 EQ. And this is the original, this is what the plugin looks like. And it's funny because I went to do a reskin of it, because this is the real one, is an API 560, and they're literally identical. So whoever originally made the plugin did the exact same thing, which I think is pretty cool when it looks, you know, identical to the original. And then I go on to Pinterest or whatever. You can download images and then use them for your plugin. And this is basically for practice, because once you learn the art of the GUI, or people call it the GUI, then you can go from there and come up with a great plugin idea. Probably have to pay somebody to make the plugin, but I don't think it's that much. And then you make the GUI, you could have a pretty nice plugin. And these are called UIs. So if you search for them online, type in UI kits. And they look like this, where they come with sliders and knobs and dials and buttons. And then you have VU meters, which basically you'll have your outside meter, and then you'll just have the arm here will have to come in about 40 different pictures so that it's animated and it can go back and forth. These are some real nice ones. Oh, this was a pain in the tail trying to figure out how, if I made a dial to make this circle right here, and then it was easier to just go online and look for dials, clock dials, odometers, meters, and stuff than it is to try to do this in Photoshop, because it takes some math and some Photoshop skills to make that work out. But yep, these are all UIs, and a lot of them, the UIs you download or the GUI PSD kits, you'll actually open in Photoshop so that you're able to spin the dials, you're able to move the knobs up and down. They're already ready to go, rather than cutting them out of a picture and then having to put them all together yourself. And just to give you a quick understanding of this, if you go into something like this, open it up, all you do is right click it, go to resource tools, and hit replace the resource with, and then pick a different photo like this. Now I've just replaced that part of it. Yep, and when I open up, I told it no, not to save any changes, but now when I open up the audio software, the plugin will be altered.